Hi everyone. I was just checking the calendar and including today and the final day, I think there are exactly 50 days left for the CAT exam. So I thought of starting a series called 50 Days Sprint to the CAT exam, wherein I felt like I would share every single day some small tips or something which I feel like might keep you motivated in this last leg of your journey. So this series is for an individual who does not want to spend a lot of time on YouTube because you are involved in already improving your mock scores and taking ample mocks and analyzing them. I wouldn't be wasting your time. I would instead just share my learnings of these last few days or share something inspiring for you every single day so that you keep at it and you cross this last leg of your journey. अच्छा एक चीज frankly बताऊं, this last leg of your journey is going to be typical, no doubt, because it's going to be stressful. You are going to keep thinking about the future and worrying about क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा. So let's put one thing aside at the onset, that this is common, this is normal. If you're feeling this way, if you're feeling scared, that's absolutely normal. In fact, if you're not feeling scared, then I should be worrying about you. But if you're feeling scared, तो वो तो होगा ही ना, because you're preparing for an exam and it's a competitive exam. So obviously, because things are at stake, you would be worrying. But at the same time, how can we reduce your worry? And coincidentally, I was reading a book recently called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. And usme he has shared a beautiful strategy. So I'm going to share it with you and we are going to implement it for the last 50 days. So that strategy is called working upon your worst case scenario. Let's assume what is the worst case scenario, what is the worst that you can score in this exam. So individually, each one of you take a piece of paper and write down what is the minimum percentile that you think you can score in this exam on the final day. And please don't start writing zero. Like write a realistic number basis your past mock scores performances. What is that number that you think is there in your mind? And now that you have written it, now we have 50 days left. The second step to this worst case scenario is accepting it. So let's accept that you actually end up scoring that much. So what is going to be your plan B? Let's say you don't make it to your dream B school this very year. What are you going to do? So create that plan right now itself. You will feel more confident after having that plan ready with you. And then we will start working upon that worst case scenario. So now that you have 50 days left, we will start working on the worst case scenario, which is the percentile that you've written. So if let's say that percentile was 50, you will decide that since you have 50 days left, every single day you will start improving your percentile by 5 percentile. So every single mock you take, you are aiming to score 5 percentile points more as compared to the last percentile that you had imagined. And every time you score that much or you score more than that, let's say after 50 you score 75, 75 becomes your worst case scenario. And then you start improving upon that worst case scenario. So proceed this way, and that way you are going to see incremental improvements. Because otherwise, what happens is we see 50 percentile and then we aim at 99 percentile. So even if we score 75, we see the goal to be too far away and we feel demotivated. But by using this strategy, your worst case scenarios will keep improving and you will eventually land at a place better than that you currently are. So the next thing that I would recommend is to set your biological clock. Biological clock basically means that our mind or our body is most active at a particular point of time in the day when we make it most active. So let's say that currently you wake up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and you are also going to have your exam in the slot of 9 to 11 or something of that sort. Then you cannot be most active in that point of time if you are continuously waking up at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. because your body would start becoming active around 12 or 1. So you need to start making your body active during the most required time slot, which is going to be the slot in which you're going to take the exam on the final day. For this, the best strategy is to start taking your mocks at the very time slot in which you will be taking the final CAT exam. That way, your mind will be most active during that time. Another thing that I would recommend to people who are facing challenge in VARC section, especially concentrating on the RCs, is about the concept of concentration, which I learned from one of the spiritual saints. So basically, what Dandapani had explained in his video was that concentration is like a ball of light. Imagine as if your mind has different spheres, different areas where it can revolve around, and there is a ball of light called as concentration, and it moves from one place to another within your mind. So let's say that if you're taking the exam, at that point of time, the ball of light is in an area which is called as the CAT exam, and then suddenly you start thinking about the future or worrying about something else or thinking about your past, then that ball of light is no more in the CAT exam wala situation. It moves to that other area which might be vacant at that time. So if you practice the law of concentration, it says that you need to keep bringing that ball of light back. Every single time when you're reading an RC, it may happen that you lose your concentration. For the next 50 days, what you need to practice is to bring back that ball of light to the CAT exam or to the mock that you're taking and to the RC that you're reading, so that your entire concentration remains on one thing. This is not easy to do. It takes practice, which is why you have 50 days left. So for the next 50 days, keep at it, keep thinking about the same thing again and again. Even if you lose out on the focus, bring back your ball of concentration to the same thing again. This is something you can practice while you're taking the mock. This is something you can practice while you're solving the questions. You just have to bring back your concentration every time it wavers. This practice is going to help you improve your concentration level. The final point I'm going to make is regarding your revision schedule. This is the perfect time for you to revisit your concepts, and for that, I am hopeful that you would have created a formula book already. If you have not created a formula book, I would link mine in the description box and also one that we got in barter by Arun Sharma. So you can use both of them and revise the most important concepts so that if you take the CAT exam, you are able to recall these formulas at that point of time and score on the easier questions. Now, once you have sorted out your revision schedule, also create another schedule for your mock taking. So for the days that are left, you should know how many mocks are you going to take and how are you going to phase them out over the days so that you don't burn out, but at the same time you have ample mocks in order to analyze them. So if I had to sum up this video, first we talked about the fact that it's normal to feel the way you are feeling because this is the time when you need to imagine your worst case scenario, accept it mentally, and then start improving upon it further. In order to do that, you need to set a biological clock so that your mind is most active during a particular time slot. You also need to practice the law of concentration by bringing the ball of light back to the sphere that you want to lighten up. And finally, you need to make a revision schedule for yourself and also a mock taking schedule for yourself. Summing this all up, this is what I wanted to talk about in this particular video. But tomorrow I'm going to make another video on day 49, and whatever it is that you want me to cover in that video, or if there are some aspects that you want me to touch upon in that video, you can surely let me know in the comment section. I will surely include them tomorrow. Let's meet again. Thanks a lot for watching this, guys, and all the very best for your preparation.